Now at Lydden, the 4.5 lap super final to decide who is the best driver of the day at this Lloyds and British Championship Rallycross meeting, and a super one it has been. There, the grid lineup. On the left-hand side are the Division 2 competitors. John Greasley, who won. Trevor Hopkins behind him in the Fiesta. Then Drummond, and finally Atkinson. On the right-hand side, Bruce Mail, who won the Division 1A final in his Mini. Behind him, Barry Hathaway in his Ford Fiesta. The third-place man in the A final, Keith Ripp, who has been confirmed as the Division 1 British champion. And then Colin Howard, number 38, who is in his Ford Escort. So 4.5 laps, and for the first time, the under 1600cc cars meet the over 1600cc cars, and there is the number 1 over 1600cc car, John Greasley's powerful 3.3 litre rear engine German Porsche. The engine revs rising, the grid is being cleared, the red lights come on now, and it is green for go. And it's Bruce Mail making a good start, but John Greasley making an even better one, taking advantage of the drying track. Tony Drummond thumps his way past Trevor Hopkins up into third place alongside Bruce Mail. And so it's the Mini of Bruce Mail, the diminutive, cheeky Mini, chasing the powerful Porsche of John Greasley, with Tony Drummond, the determined Tony Drummond, pushing him, going through on the inside of Devil's Elbow and taking second place from Bruce Mail. This is the super final to decide who is the super leader of this wonderful day we've had. Rallycross and all kinds of weather conditions. It started off pouring wet, and now it is beautifully dry. And John Greasley, who has won the Division 2A final already today, a 4-star driver, using all that horsepower of his rear engine, rear drive Porsche. Into the picture he comes. His windscreen wiper just drifting across the screen. Drummond is second, Hopkins is third. Bale is down to fourth position, and into Cheshunt's Drift for the second time in this 4.5 lap race they go. And it looks as though Greasley is making the race his own. He's pulling away now, 9 years experience. There is the battle for third and fourth, behind Tony Drummond, and in third position is Trevor Hopkins. In fourth place is Bruce Mail. In fifth place is Barry Hathaway in the second Fiesta. And there's a 10 seconds penalty. A 10 seconds penalty for Tony Drummond, who is number 8 in second position. We're looking at him now as he comes down Hairy Hill, chasing John Greasley, just as Keith Ripp had a 10-second penalty in his Division 1A final, which might have, but didn't, cost him the championship. So Tony Drummond has had one for jumping the start. He doesn't know that yet. He will get a signal, no doubt, but he's pushing on. Tony Drummond in the Opel Ascona 400, made at Rüsselsheim in Germany, behind the Stuttgart-built Porsche of John Greasley. And there is Greasley in the black car with its very distinctive colour scheme. Greasley, who was fourth in the British Championship last year, won the Belgian GT Championship. And there's Bruce Mail, number 31, and Drummond has spun. Now he's really blown his race. 10 seconds penalty, he's spun out of contention, so regrettably we can effectively forget about Tony Drummond and concentrate on John Greasley, who is now on his third lap, making this super final his own as he made the Division 2. Well, sponsorship, like everything else, is vital in Rallycross, and John Greasley's going to have no trouble after this stirring drive. But look at the way Bruce Mail is going. Bruce Mail has got ahead of Trevor Hopkins, or has he? Hopkins is fighting back. The front-wheel drive Mini versus the front-wheel drive Fiesta, battling for second place as they seesaw across the slippery chalk, coming out of Cheshunt's Drift onto the tarmac, now up to the left-hander at the Devil's Elbow. They are on their fourth lap, their fourth full lap. when John Greasley comes across the line. There is Tony Drummond's car stationary on the right-hand side of the course, coming out of the elbow, as Trevor Hopkins comes up to Bruce Mail and the hairpin. If Mail runs wide, Hopkins will be able away down Hairy Hill, chasing John Greasley. We've got a hope of catching him. Trevor Hopkins is going to try and nip through. Greasley is away, sounding a bit rough. He's lost a bit of space, and Bruce Mail clips the... He can't see properly. That'll be losing his time. Into Chesson's Drift for the last time. This is the A Superfinal at Lydden, finishing. And the winner is undoubtedly going to be, because he's onto the chalk, he sees the checkered flag, he gets the hand claps, and it's John Greasley winning for a vital final for the second time today. First, the Division 2 over 1600cc final. Now, surely he's not going to do a Martin Shanker and get out of the car and drive it around. I don't think so. You can do it in a Ford Escort. Got the protection bars on his left anyway. I think he's just letting some cool air into the car. John Greasley, a very determined and worthy winner of the Super Final here at Lydden, and that concludes a fine day's racing as Bruce Mail, who finished second, follows him into the paddock with Trevor Hopkins in third position.